explained. It all starts with the prototype Omnitrix, that bulky gray and black wristpiece with the green hourglass symbol that crashed into a 10-year-old kid's life during summer vacation. If you grew up with the original series, this is the watch you picture when someone says Ben 10. It looked like something a military engineer cobbled together in a rush, because honestly, that's basically what it was. Azimuth, the smartest being in 5 galaxies, designed it not as a weapon but as a tool for interspecies understanding. The idea was elegant: walk a mile in another species' skin, learn empathy across the stars. But the version Ben found was a beta, an unfinished prototype that was never supposed to end up on anyone's wrist, let alone a kid who just wanted to ride bumper cars all summer. And that prototype showed its rough edges constantly. It timed out at the worst possible moments. Mid-fight, mid-escape, mid-everything. You'd ask for Heat Blast and get Ripjaws in the middle of a desert. The dial had a mind of its own, or at least it felt that way. The selection interface was basically a silhouette roulette wheel that Ben would slam down and pray. For years, fans debated whether the wrong aliens were a glitch or the watch giving Ben what it thought he needed. The truth is, probably a little of both. It was buggy, unpredictable software running on genius-level hardware. And that tension between what the Omnitrix could be and what it actually was in practice defined the entire original series. Then Ben took it off. He lived without it for years, grew up a little, tried to be a normal teenager. But when the hybrid invasion forced him back into action, the watch had changed. The recalibrated Omnitrix is what happens when alien tech gets a firmware update while sitting in a drawer. It slimmed down dramatically, going from that clunky pod to a sleek, almost minimalist green wristband with a holographic pop-up interface. It looked like it belonged on a teenager, because it had literally recalibrated itself to fit one. The glitches were mostly gone. The mistransformations dropped off. It added a universal translator so Ben could actually talk to the aliens he was fighting or befriending, which you'd think would have been a day one feature, but again, prototype. The biggest change was the playlist. The recalibrated Omnitrix locked Ben out of his original roster and handed him 10 completely new aliens. Swampfire, Big Chill, Jetray, Humungosaur, the whole Alien Force lineup. It was a soft reset for the character and the show. Same kid, same concept, sharper tools. But sharper tools weren't enough for what came next. Enter the Ultimatrix, and this one has a completely different energy. Visually, it's a statement piece. A massive green and white gauntlet that crawls halfway up Ben's forearm. It looks heavier, meaner, more aggressive than anything Azimuth would design, and that's because Azimuth didn't design it. Albedo did. Ben's doppelganger, the Galvan scientist who got himself permanently stuck in human form, built the Ultimatrix around an incomplete Omnitrix core he'd stolen. Ben ended up taking it from him because Vilgax was about to destroy the original Omnitrix, and desperate times called for questionable hardware choices. The headline feature is the evolutionary function. Slap the Omnitrix symbol on your chest mid-transformation and the Ultimatrix runs a simulation. It takes whatever alien you're currently using and subjects its DNA to a million years of worst-case scenario combat evolution. The result is an ultimate form. Ultimate Humungosaur gets missile launchers growing out of his hands. Ultimate Big Chill becomes a living ice storm with fire immunity. Ultimate Echo turns into a floating metal disc swarm that can level a city block. These weren't natural evolutions. They were war-optimized nightmares, and the show leaned into that. The Ultimatrix was raw power with a crack running through it, unstable tech from an unstable mind, and Ben rode it hard until Azimuth finally finished what he'd been working on all along. The official Omnitrix, the completed version. The one Azimuth actually intended to give someone someday. Visually, it's the most understated watch in the franchise. A clean, compact green and white smartwatch with a digital face and a small scroll wheel for cycling through aliens. No gauntlet, no bulk, no theatrics. It looks like something you'd wear to a job interview, and that restraint is the point. This is refined technology. It doesn't need to look intimidating because it's operating exactly as designed. The big reveal with this version is the failsafe. If Ben takes a hit that would kill him, the official Omnitrix transforms him instantly into whatever alien can survive it. No input needed. The watch reads the threat faster than Ben can think and acts on its own. That's not a feature you bolt on at the end. That's a design philosophy. Azimuth built this watch to keep its wearer alive above all else. And as for the wrong alien problem that plagued Ben for years, Azimuth cleared that up too. The watch gives exactly what Ben selects. The issue is that Ben slams the dial down too hard and shifts the selection at the last second. The watch works perfectly. The user is the bug. Now we leave the main timeline and things get wild. The Biomitrix belongs to Ben 10,000, the future version of Ben who's had decades to master the tech. It's 2 devices, one on each wrist, streamlined gauntlets,